I mean, that's the benefit of being able to own your swing as much as you do, is like, you just make a little subtle adjustment. Look at that there. Just right in the heart. Right in the heart. Table, spin axis, 2.9. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Back from his globetrotting exploits, Mr. Mac Boucher.
Good to be back. It's been a while.
It's been a while. Passport in the back pocket, just in case you get a phone
actually,
call.
I got to go get it. What's it called? It expired.
Oh, no!
You know, it's going to expire, and I'm about to go on a real international journey. So I need to get that dialed ASAP.
I love it. I love it. All right, Pat. Well, it's been a while since we've had you in here. How's the golf game?
Probably better than the last time I saw you. You know, I feel like all I do is play golf every day, so I have no excuses but to actually hit some decent shots lately. So I feel like we've been trending pretty well. Obviously, some small things we always work through, but for the most part, better.
I mean, it comes with challenges. I mean, playing golf all the time is great when you're playing well, but playing golf all the time when you're struggling with some things is also really difficult.
Yeah, 100%. For me, before I would probably get into like these slumps and I would have a hard time getting out of them. I've kind of learned different ways that I can get out of them quicker now with just little drills or something that I can get kind of back into the swing of things and find a bit of a rhythm, which has been really important for me because when you are playing this much, if you get into one of those slumps and it lasts, it's not fun. So
well, especially as well when the camera's flipped on and it's like, okay, you know, dance, okay, dance. It's like, it's not, you know, and you're struggling with some things and you get a little bit. Wentworth, perfect example, right? The crowds are 4 deep.
Yeah.
And you're hitting them over people's heads. You kind of want to feel pretty good about yourself when you're doing that.
Yeah, and I think that event specifically gave me a lot of confidence that I can do this in front of people.
Yeah,
it's not just like hiding behind an Instagram account and hitting cool shots and having 500 takes like people think. The fact that I went out there and did it in that scenario with that many people wanting me to fail, I think there's a lot of people that just want to see me shank one over and hit someone.
I told you it wasn't
yeah, exactly. And the fact that I didn't really hit many bad shots that day, I didn't lose a golf ball around Wentworth and hit some really good shots, gave me a lot of confidence, and I'm kind of feeding off that a little bit going forward. So
okay, well, you and I do this probably a couple of times a year. We kind of just catch up with one another. Where's the clubs? You know, what's like, what do we need to do to the bag to get it to be just dialed in that little bit better? Let's start with the big dog.
Yeah. So I mean, I've put this shaft. You fit me into this a long time ago. And I actually worked for you back in the day.
I don't think there'll be more than 5 people watching this video who have ever heard of Speeder Platinum.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good golf shaft. Like, I've enjoyed having it back in the bag.
Yeah.
I like to feel the driver head, and for some reason, I just feel like I can feel the head a little bit better with it. I don't like something that's super heavy, so I put it in, and it's kind of given me some good results, and I've kind of just stuck with it. I've never seen the numbers, though. I literally haven't been on a machine since I put it in the bag.
I love it. Okay, let's see some baseliners here.
A little spinny.
It's okay. You said the game's been pretty good, so, I mean, driver's been behaving for the most part?
Yeah, I would say when I'm hitting at my best, that's when the driver's staying in play.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, that might look like a lot of curve to someone, but to me, that's kind of
that's
pretty par for the course for me. But yeah, the driver's been good. I haven't been losing a lot of golf balls off the tee. It's felt pretty repeatable, which is nice.
So in terms of, I mean, these shots aside, walking in today, what would you say would be helpful for you with the driver? Like, how could it get better, if it could get better? I
am finding that the spin's kicking up a little bit on some of the not so good ones. I don't really like seeing that 3,000 number. I'm normally quite low spinning, so this is almost new for me that I've started seeing in the last month or so, or 2 months probably, that when the bad ones, that kind of just spin up hit a wall and stop. Could just be a lot of like the delivery. I mean, my angle attack there, 1 up. I'm normally like 5 up.
I was going to say, that's different, isn't it?
Yeah, which is, I don't mind because it's allowing me to cover the ball better, but it's definitely kicking up some spin, I think.
A little better there.
Yeah, that was better.
It's very interesting with the modern driver. As the driver has gotten bigger, it's actually easier to do these fits because I can kind of tell exactly where you're hitting this based on the sound. I can kind of tell where these are. Some of them are definitely a little heely. You know, there's certain ones that like sound like they're a fraction high in the head. Okay, really solid there. I mean, if we could send you on the road with those numbers, I think we'd both be pretty happy. Playing the cut at 2400 means if you need to go the other way, you've got a little bit of spin in your back pocket. 306K, you picked up some speed.
Yeah, I think I've become a little bit limber. I think the last time I was on here, I can actually, I mean, this is just like my stock speed right now. I'd say I can stretch it up to like low 120s pretty comfortably now. But it is nice like seeing that spin almost be in the mid 20s.
Yeah.
Because normally, I don't know, last time I saw you, I think I was struggling to even get it to 2000.
Definitely.
Like I was like knucklers that just kind of could get pretty wayward on me. So again, this is for me just a little bit of confirmation, I think, that what I'm using is okay, and if there's anything that might be able to benefit.
Well, I think, you know, we always talk, well, certainly, you know, because I watch the videos and I think to myself, okay, I want to build you two drivers. I almost want you to have your Instagram driver and I want you to have your Instagram tournament driver, because you do both. Right? Yeah. You play in events where it's nice to score and people, you know, judge you based on the scores you shoot. And when you play those ones, I kind of almost want you to be tournament Mac. And I actually love you having a driver that you can just hit wild shots with. Yeah. If I was talking specifically just to tournament Mac right now, I'd obviously want to tighten things up a little bit on that curvature. Yeah. Right. So you're getting your rightward start line, which is good. Absolutely fine. Don't have any issue with that. It's just how much it's moving to the left. That last one was definitely the most solid. Yeah, definitely. These other ones were slightly bigger misses. I would just love to work on this number with you a little bit. Okay. Bring that down. I would say getting into single digits would be awesome. Okay. Okay. I mean, if I try to like just square myself up a little bit and almost feel like I don't. Sure. Yeah. The safety shot. Try to hit like more of a draw. Almost. Hit me one like that. Let me call this square stance. So this would be. I mean, I would hit this. That's obviously my like safety blanket shot that cancel out the right side of the golf course. Yeah. Worst miss is going to be left rough. I think the furthest one offline there was 27 yards, which I'm not out of bounds. Yeah. I'm left rough, which is fine. I think for me, having that other way where if the wind's maybe fractionally off the left side where I can trust hitting a draw, it's good to be able to work it both ways. I mean, that's the benefit of being able to own your swing as much as you do, is like you just make a little subtle adjustment. Look at that there. Just right in the heart. Felt good. Right in the heart. Table, spin axis, 2.9. It's the draw swing. Yeah. Where I get stuck and can't, I'm like so scared almost. Okay, so it's kind of cool to do this for the second time this year, because I remember last time we talked specifically about center of gravity and we wanted to move the CG so that you could get the ball to curve a little bit less. And actually we went to the HD head, which is the furthest back CG because the spin was so low. That's not really happening now. So you have standard stealth 2. You're playing it right now open about 3 degrees. You're playing the loft turn down to about 7.5. Yeah. You don't actually need that head anymore. You can actually go back to the lower spin head now. So that's what I was kind of thinking is, I know when I first got put into that head, that was kind of what similar time in like the HD head, I was kind of fighting it a little bit with driver. It was kind of a pretty dark period for me a little bit. It was pretty miserable because I went from being like what I consider a pretty good driver of the ball in terms of I had something that worked for me. It might have not been the most pretty thing, but I was in a battle there. But now I feel like I'm kind of creeping back to a little bit more of like where I was before. Right. And I do find that spinny shot is coming in a little too much, or like that wipey left one. And I don't know, I think if I could get rid of that, even a little bit, obviously it's a lot swing related. That path right there, that last one, that felt like I was in to out, but it's crazy to see that I'm actually quite neutral. Yeah, super neutral. So yeah, I mean, it's a case of like, what do we like? What do we not like? So we're trying to hit it straighter. So we love a neutral path. We're hitting up on it good. Dynamic loft is good. Everything actually is in really good. It was a really solid strike. We just have a little bit of an open face. Yeah, that's literally all we were struggling with there. There's one other thing that we're going to change, and we'll hit some stuff and then we'll talk about it. But let's go into Stealth 2 Plus with a little adjustment. Beauty.
So a little bit more loft than that. I didn't look at the setting.
Yes. Yeah. So we want the loft because we have a different CG location now. So we're going to use that loft certainly to our advantage. The other part, we get the face angle as well. But now because obviously the face is, we don't need the face as open because the CG is more forward. That's going to control launch and spin.
Right.
Much, much better. Let's see a couple more. Nice.
I like that because that's not low spin. Like that's, it's maintaining a little bit of that spin that I like seeing. I don't want that knuckler that was creeping in, and that just felt like it had 29, which is pretty crazy for me. Like I could physically never get over 2,500.
No, I know.
Last year, so.
Yeah, your angle attack has changed. Your delivery dynamics have definitely changed.
That's the importance of like checking this stuff. Because like, I know I'm pretty one-dimensional in a lot of like the sense of things I do, but at the same time, like that's significantly different than the last time I was on here.
So with the other one, we obviously had the ball going down the left side. This one here, we're carrying a little bit of spin. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is starting to look much, much better. Okay, let's make our first.
And to be honest, like I don't care about curving a driver. Driver on Instagram, like I want to be able to hit like a high draw is a hell of a lot more impressive than my like power slice that everyone's like, this guy only can hit a slice. So I don't mind no movement with driver. I think that's one club that I am perfectly fine just hitting like a good straight shot almost, or like a little draw or a little fade, so.
That's so good. That's such a good flight. How'd you hit that one?
A little low in the face, but I mean, I'm pretty happy with it.
So right where you said.
Yeah. I do like I'm having a harder time hitting this left.
Yeah, spin would love to get down a little bit.
A little bit. Am I still up on it?
Yeah, 3. So that really is that's actually just strike.
Yeah, low strike.
That's just a little bit low in the head. That's okay. Definitely not worried about that. That seemed like it was better for spin.
Yeah, that didn't look like it hit a wall, right?
Yeah, that had much more forward in the flight there. Okay, we're just trying to, that was really nice. I'd love to see your peak just about, we're getting picky, right? But we can be, so I'd love to see a peak between 115 and 118.
Okay.
Can you go, what tee height's that?
I can go lower.
Yeah, let's go one.
I do lower quite a lot. Like probably one of my, that's pretty normal for me is I've been teeing a little bit lower, which is why I think my attack angle's gotten more down. Yeah. Because I used to tee it super high and try to crank up on it as much as I could. So I've been hitting a lot of like squeezers off tees this high. So
well, to hear you say like you feel like you've been playing good, like I'm definitely not surprised that you've been playing good if your angle attack with the driver has gotten down a little bit more.
Yeah, totally.
That's a really good sign.
Yeah, this setup here with like a little less loft, is that what you did?
Yeah, a little less loft, but we're still keeping the upright. Better. Yeah. So we're kind of in a little bit of a fight with the club specs right now, because Stealth 2 Plus is the flattest driver TaylorMade I've ever made.
Yeah.
Problem we've got when we go from Stealth 2 into Stealth 2 Plus, we lose 2 degrees on the standard lie angle of the club. We're trying to get that lie angle back upright, but really all we're doing is making it, the Stealth 2 and Stealth 2 Plus, we're actually making them about the same. It's almost like we need 1 degree less loft on your Stealth 2.
Right.
That's really what we need.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that we can play the face more square.
More square.
Yeah. Okay, I've moved us back to the OG spec here. I want to get that lie angle for me at 1.6 up is still not kind of up enough.
Okay.
So we're looking for more neutral path, which for you feels like you're hitting a big draw.
Yeah, so I feel like
so hit a couple like that.
Okay.
You're giving me more like tournament ball flights than I've ever seen you hit. Like these are really good tournament ball flights. This isn't the freak ball, the home run ball, the 1700 spinners that I think at times we all always saw you with. But
and I think like those ones are still I think I'm still capable of those, but I think I've realized that like it messes up my golf swing when I get so also, behind it and so like.
Well, you also just don't need it. You know, it's like there's where you were. So we've just changed the accuracy on yours with CG location into the heel with the sliding weight, and then more upright on the lie angle, which it actually doesn't end up that much more upright. So you're like 1.5 up, 1.8 versus 2.5. The difference being is just the standard Stealth 2 versus the Plus there's 2 degrees of lie angle difference there.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've been thinking about going back to the Plus head because that's the one obviously originally when I used the Sim driver, which was my favorite driver of all time, it was a little bit more comparable to that.
Yeah.
So it's been weird not being in like a super, or I guess more of a spin head. So.
No, this is really, really good. You know, if our first call out was spin axis tilt, if we go back to kind of where we were earlier, we talked about 18.7, it's a little aggressive, trying to get that spin axis tilt into the kind of single digits. Well, in the end, we got it to 3.8.
Yeah.
So that is just going to give you so much more consistency and sort of control over the flight.
Right.
You've got tons of spin, backspin, so you're not ever worried about that. Yeah, you might be sacrificing a little bit of yardage, but you're flying at 300.
Yeah, no, there's no reason to hit it more than that. And I think, I mean, I still have that gear where if I want to like have that home run one, I just set my shoulders and hit up on it is my feeling, and that kills all the spin, so.
I think, honestly, I think you're right where you need to be.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's what I need. I needed some confirmation because obviously I just put this together on a whim, knowing that it used to work for me. I felt like my swing was a little closer to what it was a few years ago. So it's nice to know that what I'm seeing with my own eyes is validated with some numbers. Without
a doubt, you know, and that's something, again, you know, TaylorMade are incredible supporters and partners with you, that you've got great access to their tour heads. So like my spec to you leaving here is we need a head that is not 54-degree lie angle, it's 56, because when we move it 4 degrees up on the cog, we need it to be 60.
Right.
That's what we need your lie angle at. That'll get you 4 degrees, 4.5 degrees toe up. CG location more on the heel side, just to support occasional heel strikes. We heard those in the start.
Definitely.
Those will now fly much straighter. The centered ones will behave a little bit like toe strikes. When you get that face-to-path relationship being a little bit open, they won't miss on the left side. So we get this lovely tight blue flight in here. You're just going to hit lovely tiny baby cuts.
Yeah, no, that's really good.
Okay. Awesome. I like the shaft for you.
No,
I think you're timing that well.
Yeah, no, it feels really good. Like I think, as I said, I can feel the head, which is for me being such a needing to know where the face is on the downswing, on the top of my backswing. I feel like I can feel it with the shaft. When it gets too boardy and too heavy, I'm a lost cause. So it feels like I can just feel it. I don't know what it is, but it's just feels big thing for me. So. Yeah,
it's actually one of their Japanese spec lines from Speeder Diamond. They done Diamond and Platinum are the 2 J-spec shafts from Speeder. Typically, they're higher torque. They're a little bit softer for that market, but they're super premium, like really high modulus, you know, best of best materials. So you do like to feel the shaft and time the shaft. You don't, you know, love super boardy, you know, feels. So.
No, and that's what we've always said with me is a lot of time what the numbers are showing I should be in, I hate the feel of.
I know.
So for me, it's like a tough fit because it's always feel first, numbers, and then trying to like incorporate something that works both of those. So
love it.
I guess that's a good test that I did, and it's worked. So
yeah, it has worked really, really well for you. And I love that this is a non-traditional fit for us to do in here because we're working with what you've got. And I think people ask for that all the time because people want to see, well, if I go in for a fit, am I going to get a chance to optimize what I've got?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we're doing a little bit here. I know we've made a change from Stealth 2 to Stealth 2 Plus, but you know, really we're keeping the shaft same. We're making just little subtle adjustments. And I love that we're doing that with really a small change for you.
Totally.
Right? Like visually, there's not that much going to be different. No. You're going to stand up on the tee some point in the next couple of days and, you know, look exactly the same.
100%. Yeah, it's great.
Good stuff.
Awesome.
Okay, guys, we love having Mac back in the house. It's great to check in. And again, with his equipment, his swing changes, you can see this is real life. This is, you know, you guys are going to, you know, get towards the end of the season. Last time I saw Mac, I think we probably done some stuff in March.
Yeah, it would have been.
And you do play, obviously, a lot of off-season with your travels, but you've played a ton through the summer.
Yeah, a ton.
Right?
So.
And you guys play more through the summer months than you do in the off-season. So this is a brilliant time to go and get fit because your games are sharp. You'll probably see a true reflection of your swing and yourself. And this is a time to give a club fitter those consistencies that we can work with just to dial you in that little bit further. So hopefully you got a little chance to see that, you know, we don't always have to dive into the wall of shafts or into the drawers and pull some different stuff. Little subtle tweaks and send Mac off with the confidence now that we really think he's going to hit those tighter start lines and more importantly, just control that curvature a little bit. You know, you can bend it at will, which is an awesome skill to have, but let's let you choose when you do that versus the club kind of choosing for you.
Yeah, 100%.
When it's doing that.
100%.
Awesome. Okay, guys, let us know in the comments if you want to see more videos that are in the fitting sort of bay itself rather than even just, you know, as much product testing as we do. You'll definitely see more from Mac. We're going to do more of his kit over the next little while. We're coming into new product season in the next couple of months as well, so we'll definitely be doing some tailor-made stuff with Mac. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you again soon.